White Beard's kitchen once again. So it's a really cold evening out there, so what I'm going to do is it's a Kerala mutton curry. Very simple, it will take quite a wee while to do this. What I'm going to use in terms of vegetables will certainly make this definitely keto friendly and potentially Atkins diet friendly as well. So let's get cooking. Okay folks, so what I have in here roughly is 4 to 5 tablespoons of coconut oil. What I have going in, and I'm going to fry this ever so gently while I'm preparing some of the rest of the ingredients, is roughly about 500 grams of mutton. Yes, and you hear me, mutton. This is really difficult to get in Northern Ireland, and I think indeed in any part of Ireland. Bit weird when you consider that we have more sheep in Ireland, probably roughly about 1.5 sheep to every human being, and that there exists on this island. So there we are. So and how I got this is just funny enough. Little story to this. Went into a small Indian food store looking for Mr. Naga pickle. Hey presto, noticed they had a small what I would call butcher's counter. And there it was, mutton. I mean, my eyes near popped out of my head. You will not get this in a supermarket. You will not get this in a butcher's anywhere in Northern Ireland, and I would also imagine the whole of Ireland, that would be the Republic of Ireland. Even difficult to get, even in the UK, there's only certain places that do it. So my advice is check out your Indian food store and you might be lucky. So I'm going to fry this up. What do you call it? I have it just on a high heat just to sear it. What I'm going to add in now, and what will be going into this dish will be 400 ml of coconut milk. So I'm going to turn it to kind of a medium to medium low. I'm just going to add the tiniest taste, probably I'm going to say about, if even that, about 20 to 30 mils of coconut milk. So I've turned it down just a little bit. I'll be back when I'm ready to add in the other ingredients. Right folks, so here we are. The mutton I have had on medium and just more to medium, kind of browning a bit. I've kind of just stirred it from time to time. So very quickly, got a bit of a sear on it, and that's fine. So I'm going to turn this off and just quickly remove it from just out of the pot for a few mins to then add in some of the spices that are going to get going in this. As I say, it's a Kerala mutton stew. I think I might have said curry, but hey ho. There we are. I'm wrong. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my onion and garlic in. Just turn the heat back on again. As you can see, possibly, I don't want to be careful lifting this, but God, it's absolutely roasting. As well as the oil that I put in, obviously there's been some oil that has come from the mutton. I actually said 500 grams, my apologies, it's 400 grams, and just to say it's mutton on the bone. So what I have here is a medium-sized onion going in. So I'll just fry that up just for a few minutes and let it go become slightly translucent. Okay folks, so just back, the onions are doing nicely. What I'm going to do, and I probably should have done this before I added the onion. Anyhow, not to worry. So what I have going in here is 4 cardamom pods, about 6 cloves of garlic, a small piece of cinnamon stick or cassia bark, whatever you wish to call it. So I'm just going to fry that round just for a few minutes, or I should even say a minute, and not disappear. The onions, turn those now up. I have turned those down. Goodness gracious, you wouldn't have to know it's Monday, and I've just finished my normal job, my hateful day of the week. If anybody's a Boomtown Rats fan, what do you call it? I particularly wasn't, but I did like your song, I Don't Like Mondays. Well, I sure as hell hate Monday in terms of just the first day of the week back at work. Anyway, so that's those spices. I can smell that coming through. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in ginger and garlic paste. So I'm going to say roughly there's about 2 tablespoons going in of garlic and ginger paste. I know that looks more than 2, but I'm just using a small teaspoon to get it as much of it in as possible. And really this is just stir it around a bit just to take the roughness, the rough sharp taste from the garlic and ginger. Now what I'm going to put in 4 green chilies. I'm not slicing these, you could do if you wish, you know, and again it's up to you how many chilies you wish to put into this. So I'm just going to turn this down to kind of a medium at the moment. You're going to hear a lot of crashing in a second, so it's just to bash up a few peppercorns. So I have here about, I'm going to say 10 black peppercorns. I'm just scraping them in that I just bashed ever so slightly. I didn't grind them into a black pepper powder. Make sure I've got it all in. Okay, so just give that a small stir around. I'm just going to add a tiny more drop coconut milk. I don't want things sticking to the bottom. There we are. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is add in some curry leaves. So I don't have obviously fresh curry leaves, can't get those for love nor money where I live in Northern Ireland. So you can see in the palm of my hand, it's just a very small, these are dried curry leaves, they will do the job. So I'm going to say that's probably maybe about 15 grams of even that. Just a very small, my hands are small, just a small amount of curry leaves are going in. Okay, I'm just going to add another tiny wee taste of coconut milk. Last but not least for me, and then again, this might be optional. I have seen different recipes that do this. For me, I don't mind. I do like a tiny small bit of spice, but this isn't going to be too spicy. So I'm going to add in roughly about a teaspoon, just over about a teaspoon and a half of Kashmiri Chilli Powder. You don't have to do this, that's totally optional. Right, I have just added a tiny splash of water just for the time being. So back in now with the mutton. Okay, so turn this up to a high. Right. Just giving it a quick stir around, get the mutton coated in the whole spice flavours that have infused there with the coconut milk. So I'm going to add in, I'm going to say I've probably added in maybe about 50 mils of coconut milk already. So I'm going to add roughly about 150 in here, and I'm going to leave roughly then about 200, and that will go in later. Because I don't have the time to stand and stir this, and the mutton will take quite a while, I have had my oven preheating, and I'm going to do mine, as you can see, I'm doing this in a casserole dish. I haven't added in the vegetables as yet, but I will add more vegetables in, but not now, because this mutton will probably need to cook, certainly for at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So again, you wouldn't normally need to do this, so just to make sure, I'm just going to add in roughly about half a cup of water. I'm going to put the lid on, and this mutton now will disappear into the oven. I've set my oven at 170 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a fan oven, so 190 degrees it would be in a conventional oven, and I can't never work out Fahrenheit. So for anybody that watches from outside of the UK and Ireland, my apologies for my ignorance. I'll let you work out that for yourself. Alright folks, so it's been roughly about an hour, and I'm going to say 15 minutes, and I've just checked the mutton. So all I have done, and you'll probably see this, I've added probably about 200 grams of mushroom in, 150 grams of mushrooms into it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add 180 mils I should say, of good old chicken stock. I'm using a chicken cube, nothing terribly overly expensive, because there'll be plenty of flavour in this. I didn't add salt in as yet, simply because there will be in that stock some salt, so I will taste that near the end and add it in. What I'm going to do now is add in about a teaspoon just of coriander powder. I have this really on just a low heat just at the minute, so I'm just going to stir that through. Then what I'm going to do is add, I've already roughly about 200 mils of coconut milk that had evaporated in the oven. My mutton is on the bone. The meat still, is going to take at least another hour to cook. As I say, it's 170 degrees centigrade in my fan oven. So, as I say, at least it is going to be at least another hour, maybe another hour and 15 minutes. So that's the coconut milk in. I'm going to put this back in the oven. lid on again. I'm going to serve this probably with, maybe either put another veg into it. I'm putting mushrooms in again because, you know, you could put mixed potatoes into it, but because I want to reduce in carbs, I'm not putting potatoes into it. Carrots again, I will eat them. Again, they're very high in carb. They're not higher, but they're higher than other root vegetables in carbs. So I don't mind. I might add some carrots into it. I'm not on a strict Atkins diet, so to speak. I'm on a keto diet, but I know that obviously, you know, for keto, even at that, if you do eat carrots, it's a very small amount because they are quite, you know, compared to they're one of those vegetables high in carbs. Might chuck some broccoli into it, but I'll do that later. Okay, so lid back on, flame off, back into my trusty oven again. Hi folks, so it has been roughly about another hour and 15 minutes. I've tasted the mutton. Mutton is cooked perfectly. I have just added in some cauliflower. As you can see, I kind of blanched it ever so slightly. So I'm just going to let this cook with the lid on, probably for about another 10 minutes. And then I will come back. That should be my mutton Kerala stew complete. So lid on for 10 minutes or so. I'll put it on to like a medium heat and I'll just let that cook. Well everyone, this is my Kerala mutton stew. I've tasted a little bit of it, just the sauce and some of the cauliflower. It's wonderful. It has a bit of a kick because of the chilies that I put in. I put 4. I could reduce that. It's entirely up to you how many chilies and how spicy you like it or you don't want it. I can taste the clove, the cardamom. I can taste the garlic and the ginger in it. All those flavours, while married together, you can pick them out almost individually. The mutton is very, very soft. So I am going to get this out onto a plate and I'll let you know what it's really like. Well folks, here we are. So there is bone in this, so I need to be very careful. I don't break the old teeth. So I'm going to have a piece of cauliflower. Good God. This is absolutely delicious. Creamy with the coconut milk, not overly creamy. There's a spice in there, bit of a kick from the chili, the green chilies I put in, the Kashmiri chili, and obviously the black pepper. This is absolutely wonderful. So, if you are on a keto or a Atkins diet, this is really worthwhile trying. It's definitely one of the best stews, casseroles, whatever that I have ever made. Absolutely super. Please give this a go. So, without further ado, it really is, it's near 10 o'clock at night here on a Monday night. So I need my dinner. It's a bucket Monday and I hate it. So I'm starving. I'm away. Do try this. Absolutely delicious. Take care. Look after yourself, your friends, your family, and anyone else that's close to you. Rock on. See you again soon. Bye for now from Whitebeard's Kitchen.